Hello and welcome back to 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Heyo,
and Katrina Swathwood.
Hello.
We do have a guest coming. It's
Maybe.
Anthony. Yeah, apparently, but he's not here, so we just wanted to get going.
fashionably late.
Yeah, before I dive in, I'd like to say that we have taken a little bit of time off. You know, it is the holidays, and we've at the end of this year we'll end up having put out between 48 and 55 episodes. I have to count it. It's a lot.
Too much.
Yeah, we've put out a lot, but I just wanted to touch base on why it is that we haven't recorded for a while. I'm no stranger on here to talking about very, very personal stuff. I'm a pretty open book.
You're not a pretty book.
I'm an open book. I'm a dull.
I didn't think pretty was referencing like a look.
I'm a very frumpy book.
Yeah, that's about right.
Frumpy? Okay, that's good. And I've never hid when I've been dealing with anxiety or dealing with stuff like that. And I wouldn't say that it was a lot of anxiety that's got to me lately, but just I'm feeling a little off, and I just wanted a little time. The last episode went up today, which I've had it done editing for about 10 days, and I just didn't get it up.
OMG, you can't get it up, dog?
Yeah, can't get it up. Up, dog? What's up, dog?
I don't know.
But our last week, it was a different issue. I went to work on Tuesday. I woke up Tuesday to some testicular pain.
Some or plenty?
A sharp jabbing pain in my right testicle.
And there was nobody stabbing it?
And there was nobody stabbing it. Were you stabbing me in the testicle?
I was not stabbing you in the testicle.
Okay, so there was a stabbing pain with no stabbing. So I went to work. I've had it happen before. It's gone away.
Sure, you just pinch it, tug it.
Yeah, do the pinch and roll.
Slap it a couple times, numb it up.
So I drive a truck, and my truck is fairly large, and it's 2 steps to get into the cab. And by 9:30, the pain was so bad that I was like gripping the steering wheel and like screaming as I was going from stop to stop.
Were you sitting on them?
I wasn't sitting on them, but it seemed to be walking up the stairs made it worse. So
mobility made it
Any
worse.
sort of bouncing action?
Well, my truck doesn't have the best shocks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bouncing.
You didn't have a banana hammock?
So no. So I get back from my morning route, and I just drop the truck off, and I say, sorry, I'm leaving. I'm in too much pain. I have to leave. And I work in a job where you're supposed to find a substitute to cover your route. And I was like, sorry, I got to go. Just parked my truck and left. Booked it to urgent care. Went to urgent care. Luckily, there was only one person in front of me, which is,
never happens.
No, it wasn't emergency. It was urgent care. But even urgent care usually has an hour and a half wait. I waited about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get in. So I go in, and this was the first of many people who handled my balls for the day.
I mean, how many before the urgent care?
Before the urgent care? I don't know if we did anything the night before.
Yes.
Oh, we did? Okay, yeah. So there was the night before.
But then all the coworkers, instead of slapping ass.
Oh, yeah. Ball slap. None of that this
slaps.
time. So I go in, and there's the first handling of my balls, which was very uncomfortable. I've had a vasectomy, so nobody handling my situation bothers me.
Just the squeezing.
It's the squeezing when there's a fair amount of pain. So they thought I would had a testicular torsion. And as somebody that went in for testicle pain, didn't you?
Yeah.
At one point?
I think I had what you end up having.
Epididymis?
Yeah, epididymis.
Yeah.
I think it's a skin. What's that called?
That's, what is your skin?
Epididymis, right?
No. Epidermis?
Epidermis.
That's what I had. I had skin on my balls. Apparently not supposed to
I
have that.
hope you do.
So I went in, and they're like, okay, you need to have an ultrasound on your testicles. So and I've had several ultrasounds on different organs because I have a lot of stomach issues, and they've checked my stomach and my and stuff. And I'm going to get to that too because I've had a lot of problems with my stomach lately, and they wanted to look at my gallbladder, and I had an appointment the next day to have an ultrasound on my gallbladder. So on Tuesday, I had an ultrasound on my testicles, which took 30 minutes. Did you have one when you went in for?
It didn't take that long though. I don't feel like it took that long.
So you did do an ultrasound on your balls?
I did at urgent care at Rosemont.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Yeah. I feel like it didn't take that long.
It took quite a while.
Because
Maybe
they have to
They take a
observe
lot of
everything.
pictures.
maybe the square footage.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I do have
Square,
enormous
sorry,
balls.
square footage. Whatever.
I do have enormous
Usually when
balls.
they do ultrasounds of that area, it's 3 different ultrasounds.
Well, they took she even warned me ahead of time. She's like, this is going to be a lot of pictures. And I said, okay. So I did that, and I went home, I went back to urgent care afterwards, and they said I found a cyst on my right testicle. They said, that's not what's causing you pain. We just wanted to let you know we found it. It's not cancer. It's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. There was no torsion, and it sounded like I had an infection of the epididymis, which I guess Alan, who's a very frequent
Qualified.
guest on here and who is a nurse, said that urinary tract infections for men can end up affecting that. They can go to different places, and I've never had a urinary tract infection, so I don't know. They also found blood in my urine, trace amounts, like I couldn't see it.
Right.
So I did that, and then so they gave me antibiotics. Took the antibiotics. Still on the antibiotics, but I'm feeling much better. So cyst infection. All right. Next day, ultrasound on my gallbladder, my liver, and my right kidney, because I've been having so much problem with my stomach. They wanted to see if I had gallstones in my gallbladder. So I go to do that. I have to fast all morning. Oh, I got to tell this story too. I got to fast all morning. So I'm sitting in the doctor's office at noon, 12 o'clock.
Starving.
And there's a person, I'm going to back up from the mic when I do that. There's a person whose ringtone is, Auga. And I'm like, this is this person's fucking ringtone in the doctor's office. I haven't had coffee today, and I drink coffee every fucking morning. And you have the...
So he's getting the caffeine headache
fucking-
going.
Yeah, I had a headache. Bad.
And you're hearing Aruga.
So she answers it, and she goes, I can't talk. I have laryngitis. And so she hangs up the phone. It went off 2 more times. But this lady next to me is breathing, and with each breath she's going, ow. 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 And I wanted to fucking stab someone. I wanted to punch this person in the face. I didn't have coffee. I was fasting. I didn't have any food or anything.
I had a Snickers, dog.
I know. I had an ultrasound the day before on my balls. I was still in pain in the balls. It lasted about 2.5 days of pain.
You're walking like a cowboy.
Well, you got to get the antibiotics in your system.
I was so mad. So then I go and I get the ultrasound done, and my results came back in my email, in my medical account before my doctor contacted me. No gallstones, stomach looks fine, kidneys looks fine, but we found a mass on your liver.
So hypochondriac Robert.
Well, nobody wants to hear we found a mass on your liver.
No.
No, I mean, that's not a good thing, regardless of what the situation is. So I get the results back from my ultrasound tech before I hear from my doctor. So I'm like, okay, if it was bad, my doctor would get back to me first.
You can call Alan.
I did text Alan afterwards, but Alan cannot give you medical advice. If you do want to ask Alan a question or anybody else a question on the podcast,
Please call.
I heard we have a couple lined
we
up.
do, but we have to wait for Alan. If you do want to call us at 657-215-5739, you can ask Alan anything. You can honestly ask any of us anything, but that is the phone number. So mass on my liver. So I messaged my doctor, and a couple hours go by, and I am a hypochondriac, and that's self-diagnosed, but I worry so much about my body that it causes me panic attacks. He messaged me back, oh, you're fine. It's a collection of blood vessels that happens in about 5% of the population. It's not a tumor, not cancer. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
You got rare saliva. You got rare kidney masses.
So within 30 days, they found polyps in my stomach, a cyst on my testicle, and a mass on my liver, which I discussed with Alan and my doctors and everybody.
But you've been cleared on all accounts.
I've been cleared on all accounts. It's
the balls were the worst.
The balls were pain. That was, I wasn't going in for that, but that's why we didn't record last week. I left early one day, I missed a day, and I had to miss another day for a follow-up appointment. So
and we got a whole nother lineup next week.
Yeah, and just with things going on lately, we've had playoff soccer and practices and
You
parties.
should be playing your condition.
No, I wasn't playing soccer. Just for the workers' comp people. I'm just kidding. I didn't collect workers' comp, but no, I went back to work. So that was last week.
Tell us how you're really feeling.
I'm feeling better now. My
Did you
neck.
get your tea?
I didn't get my tea. Can you get my tea?
Get your fucking coffee.
I had a cup of half caffeinated coffee this afternoon.
Half calf?
I do a half calf in the afternoon sometimes. So
When do you do a whole calf?
in the morning.
Mm.
Moo. I guess it'd be lighter because their balls haven't dropped. Do cows have balls that drop? Do they have infections of their epididymis?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never touched one. It's on my bucket list.
We were at a pumpkin patch one time, and it was an actual working dairy farm as well, and a calf had just been born. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool. Did
Yeah.
you go full City Slickers?
We
and
went to no.
pull it out. You just got to get in there.
But-
When the Jokers did that,
Yes, they did.
who was that?
It was Sal. He had
That was
to.
fucking horrible.
I think he had to artificially inseminate one, didn't he? Or did he
It
have
was
to deliver
something.
it?
I wouldn't have done that shit.
But we went on a hayride at this dairy farm, and there was still like blood dripping out of the back of this cow that had given birth. I've seen it in person as a human, so I mean, what does it matter?
You seen it? It wasn't a cow that time.
No. I mean, she was pregnant. Sorry, Katrina. You are wearing black and white.
So
Yeah.
It was
So that
utterly
was,
horrible.
was last week.
I could be a zebra.
I'm just letting all the new listeners know that, hey, there's new listeners. As much as we haven't
Don't be so
recorded
surprised.
lately,
Sorry, can you not hear my facial expression on this?
there are new listeners, and I just wanted to say, how you guys doing out there? How's it going?
How
You don't
you-
like this,
What's going on with
Katrina?
your voice?
How are all the balls out there? Feeling
Are you-
good?
Why are you assuming they're all men?
Are you a new listener?
I mean,
Are you doing all right?
women could have balls. It's 2018.
How are things going?
Get used to it.
Did you see the woman that got picked up by an old drug charge that she didn't even know she had,
And they put her in a male jail.
and they put her in a male jail even though she was a female?
They figured she was transgendered, and so they just automatically assumed, but she wasn't.
They had
Why
already
are-
done a strip search, so I mean they.
Why had they assumed?
Because they just figured that she looked like a man, so
She looked male.
she must have been a man before.
Prisons are more open than bathrooms.
Yeah, isn't that terrible? Oh. Yeah, but I was just letting old listeners, new listeners, we appreciate you all, but that's why I've been out of commission. I've just a little bit of a health scare, but I'm doing good.
We'll see what we can do over the next couple weeks.
I'm staring at an empty chair because I had a story to fucking give this little shit some shit.
You'll be here soon, right? Tell them to come on in.
I already did that.
Oh.
So I don't know if did he see the new Harry Potter? He did? Did he see Wreck-It Ralph?
Not so sure about that one.
Oh, hey, there he is. Late.
Sorry, I'm late.
Late.
I hit like every red light.
Sit down.
That's what happens
Sit
when you're
down.
not on time.
So, going back to the ball pain and all that, the time before we didn't record, like I said, I wasn't having anxiety or panic attacks or anything like that. I've just been feeling off. Like I said, I'm pretty open on here. I go to therapy every Thursday. I do have a therapist, and I've just been feeling off. And even with him, I was talking about I'm feeling off. I just don't feel right. I'm not having anxiety attacks. I'm not having panic attacks. I just don't feel right.
It happens.
You can tell you're in a relationship. You've gained some weight. You like that? I'm taking shots as soon as you sit down.
I have gotten a little fat.
You're a
I'm
little
noticing
chunky.
I'm starting to use a larger belt loop, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I didn't think pho was fattening.
It's noodles. Noodles are carbs. They turn into
Rice
sugar.
noodles. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's so good though.
It
does-
is.
And you don't feel like crap after you eat it either.
You can use. You
It's
can.
deceiving.
Yeah, I know. But I've felt off. So when I feel off at night, because I have a really hard time turning my brain off, and last week I've been waking up not being able to breathe. Like it's been scaring me. But what I do is I lay on the couch and I'll watch a show that I've seen 100 times and just
And we're saying watch loosely.
yeah. I calm down. I lay
It's
down
on.
and I try to fall asleep. So recently, Parker, our son, got a PlayStation, and he's been watching Netflix.
Oliver has been watching Netflix.
Oliver's been watching Netflix. So I go to turn on Netflix, and I'm already having an off day, and I'm already having a rough day. And I go to turn it on, it says, your account's being used. And I'm like, what? And the only person that uses it is Anthony. That's why he's here.
Yeah.
And we've never had that issue happen before because we're the only two that use it. And I have a two-person account.
Right. Two streaming.
Two streaming account. So I'm like, I'm looking at it. It shows you
What's being watched?
what's being watched.
What was it?
I'll get to that. Don't say anything. I'll get to that. So I'm like, okay, one of them is a cartoon. And I'm like,
Oliver's robot cartoon.
Oliver's robot cartoon. I'm like, okay, he's watching that in the next room. What is this? What was it called, Katrina? What was it called, Katrina?
Secret of the Wings.
Secret of the Wings. I was like, what is Secret of the Wings?
And
so,
I'm like,
no, wait.
Tinkerbell.
Oh,
Sorry. I told you.
you ruined my whole fucking story.
How did I ruin the whole story?
I was building up to that.
Why, did you have to Google it?
No.
No, I told him what it was.
No, I understand, but I had like a 10-minute story I was going to tell, and you just fucking ruined it.
So continue with this story. I want to hear how you were going to set it
anyways.
up.
So
You can just cut that
you
out.
see-
I can't now because we've already fucking discussed it. So I see this, and I was like, God, I texted him, I was like, are you on Netflix? He's like, yeah, I'm Netflix and chilling. And I'm like, are you Netflix and chilling watching a Tinkerbell movie?
hell yeah, I was.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I was going to go on further with this story before Katrina ruined it. And I'm like,
I ruined everything.
yeah, my life, anything.
Watch out.
What am I going to do? What are you going
Stabbed
to
in
do?
the balls for real.
I wasn't referencing you.
Oh.
I was referencing people in general.
Who are you referencing?
I ruin everything. Watch out. Never mind.
It's okay. I'm normally the one that ruins everything.
Should I know what this is?
Oh, this is a movie. 2 words?
Baby
No.
fish mouth.
Big
Baby
fish.
mouth.
Big fish. Damn it.
A ghost.
A ghost. So and Anthony was like, yeah, dude, I got it. I'll back off. So I interrupted this thing. Usually I wouldn't have cared, but like I said, I've been having an off week.
It's totally cool, man.
You ruined the Netflix and chill? Not quite so, because
I'm sure he still got his chill.
Yeah, still got the chill.
I had a Netflix account, and
Yeah.
now I've got Tinkerbell on it.
And
Well, at least
I don't know.
At least somebody in the house isn't having this bland vanilla sex.
oh,
I think we both are.
I just assume
speak for yourself.
I just assume that there's that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall where he's on top of the girl and she's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I
That
just
when
came.
he's-
I immediately think of Parenthood when she finally gets the pictures from the photo booth
Oh,
with that Todd.
with Corey?
No.
No, just
Vanilla sex?
because they find her vibrator during family dinner.
Oh yeah,
Now me and Anthony are, later in that movie, we're both pounding on the wall trying to outdo each other.
yeah.
That's what it is.
So you're saying his girl's actually having an orgasm and yours is faking
I have
it?
to pay her. Be
Yeah.
loud.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Corey has vanilla sex and Anthony watches Tinkerbell. You know,
Hey,
if
whatever
you're
gets
gonna
in the mood.
watch one, the Pirate Fairy or,
Way better.
or the Never Beast, excellent Tinkerbell movie.
We watched the pirate one after that.
I love that one.
That's the best one.
Yeah, big fan of Pirate Fairy.
I can hear you crunching.
God damn it, Corey. So yeah, we've been gone for a little while.
There
So
are M&Ms in my pocket.
I have written down some things.
By the way, she listens to the podcast. too.
Okay, is she going to be offended by anything I just said?
Oh,
Probably,
yeah.
She'll probably be a little embarrassed, but she won't be offended.
Okay, good. It's nice that I get to talk about her before I meet her.
Oh my god.
You're basically talking to her before you meet her.
What's her name?
Her name's Sonia.
Blade.
Sonia. Sonia, what's happening?
Oh my god.
How's it going? I'm sure we'll meet her sooner or later. Yeah.
Not if you could help it.
So I did write down some stuff. Just real quick, I wanted to ask you guys if anybody's watched any of Haunting yet.
I have not.
Okay.
About 30 seconds you showed me.
Okay, we're going to talk about it anyways.
Because it's so great.
And I'll try not to spoil anything to you guys because the show is pretty incredible.
I will watch it at some point. I just haven't.
8 episodes in, I would have put it as my number 2 favorite show, Netflix.
Okay. What's your number one?
Mindhunter.
Ooh,
Yes.
Excellent.
yes, okay.
Mindhunter, and then Glow, Stranger Things, and
What is Glow? It looks
The
so,
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
What? What do you mean, what is Glow?
This is
I've
Netflix
seen
original,
it, but
right?
I
Yes,
thought it
Netflix
was like a
original.
total chick show. I don't
No.
know why.
It's really good. It takes place in like the 70s, and it has Mark Maron's in it, who's excellent. Allison Bree's in it. It really is like a cheesy wrestling show. Like it's these ladies trying to that are actresses that are trying to become wrestlers. It's definitely worth a watch. I was reluctant to kind of watch it, and then we did, and it's
a lot of fun.
It's really good. But
Did you see the movie that's coming out with The Rock? The wrestling movie?
no,
With the kids who want to be like wrestlers or whatever? Oh,
that's a true story too.
is it?
Yeah, because he was.
So you know
referencing-
about it, though?
Vaguely, but he
It-
does so much stuff. It's hard to keep track of what he's doing.
I'll watch whatever he's in.
Yeah, he's. That's why he makes so much money. But no, I mean those are like, and we're not talking. I mean, Daredevil was canceled this week,
Yeah, that sucks.
which sucks. And I was a
so
big
last
Daredevil fan.
woman standing.
Is
Yeah.
Did
Punisher as well.
season 3 come out?
Yeah, it's already.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little behind. So I wasn't sure if it got canceled after or before the release.
We haven't watched it yet either because we started watching Haunting. But back to Haunting. Before that, I would have put it as my number 2 or possibly tied with Mindhunter. The second to last episode kind of let me down a little bit. Even with that, I know I give everything a B. I give this even second to last episode a B, and then the last one probably a B plus, A minus.
Yeah.
I read our Lacey, our friend, told us what the ending was actually supposed to be and what it ended up being, and I liked the what it should have been instead of what it actually was. But the first 8 episodes, I give it a solid A2. I liked it a lot. We rewatched the first episode because all the episodes tie in together, where it's like there's 5 kids and 2 parents, and each person has an episode to themselves, and how it weaves into the opposite person's story.
It does flashbacks, right? It shows them as...
Well, yeah.
It does throughout the entire episode. They'll be present day, and then they'll go back, and then they'll go back to present day, and they'll go back.
And like, if one of the sisters is calling one of the other siblings, you see it in hers, and then you see the opposite end in somebody else's. And it's not a gory show. It's not it's just like a ghost story, and it was done so well. I can't say enough good things about it. I liked it a lot.
It's one and done, right?
It's one and done, but now they're saying that there might be another season.
Would it be a spinoff, kind of like how American Horror Story is like?
It's hard. It would
different
be
thing, but same kind of.
It would be hard
story
because it is based on the house.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't think it would be.
It could be a different ghost or a different
set.
Because it's like that. This house is so old, and that different people have had different things happen to them in this house. So I mean, it could be a different thing, but. Bent Neck Lady episode,
awesome.
One of the best episodes of I really liked it a lot.
Because by the time you're at the end of it, you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and you're like, what? And then there's an episode they make it look like it's a one shot. I like those kind of things, like Birdman. Mm-hmm. Birdman, was it called Birdman?
Yeah, Children of Men.
That shot in Children of Men. The shot in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
There's several things, and I really liked the show a lot. We won't get more into it because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, because it's really
worth a watch.
Really worth a watch.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you start having sleep paralysis after you started watching?
I've never had sleep paralysis, and I'm knocking on wood. Never had sleep paralysis. It's just something that and Alan and I talked about this. Sleep paralysis terrifies me.
The idea
of it, and it always has. Do you know what sleep paralysis is? Okay. The other thing that terrifies me is having a surgical procedure where I am knocked out, but knocked out not enough to be unconscious, where your brain is still awake. So you feel everything, but you can't move your body.
Yeah. So same thing, except one you're in your bed safe, and the other one you're under the knife.
And I had known about sleep paralysis before, but it dives into it a little bit in the show about how it's basically your body's woken up, but your brain hasn't yet. So your dreams spill over into reality. Have you ever had it happen?
No.
Anthony,
I have had it happen quite a few times.
Well, a lot of people see dark figures, people standing over them, people standing next to them. That does not sound
cool.
And since you're still asleep, there's not a sense of time, so it can seem like
it goes on for forever. Yeah. That would happen to me when we lived upstairs. When we lived with Mom,
that happened to her too, where people saw a dark figure in that room.
Yeah, and I would see it in the corner of where the door was, and it was really, really fucking scary. Yeah, that was a terrifying experience.
The last time I woke up, there was a dark figure lying next to me. I started punching it, and she hasn't forgiven me. I felt really bad.
Yeah, but that I had a dream the other night that I saw Parker playing in a park, and I see him playing on the ground, and I run up to him, and by the time I get to him, he's turned. I like to say it was it's almost like an echo of what he was. It's almost like a white translucent version of him, and he just disappears. And I keep seeing him far away.
Fucking Thanos.
Yeah, and I keep trying to get to him, and every time I get to him, he disappears, and I can't catch him. And that was my dream for the whole night, and I remembered it clearly. I woke up because I turned a corner, and he wasn't there anymore, and I screamed, and I woke up, and our alarm was going off. But I didn't really remember it all then, and it clicked during the day, and all I wanted to do was see him because I was like, this is bad. Like, I felt so gross, and I just gave him a big hug when I got home. But yeah, that shit can fuck you up. I mean, I haven't had the sleep paralysis, but bad dreams just in general. Katrina has her fair share of bad dreams.
All the time.
99.9% of the time, I don't remember my dreams.
Yeah, ditto.
So I haven't been smoking at all lately, and
Why?
really not for any reason specifically. And I'm not saying that with a big shit-eating grin on my face.
You were.
But no, I hadn't really. I kind of stopped smoking as much after we broke up. I don't know why. I just didn't want to. But anyways, so I've been having like crazy lucid dreams
Since
like
you stopped?
every night. Every night doesn't matter. Every night that I can remember for the past couple weeks, I've had like a very vivid dream. And I like it. I think it's really cool.
Have I told you about my last celebrity sex dream?
No.
Have I told you this?
Drew Carey?
Have I told this on the podcast?
I don't think so.
You can finish up all.
Dwayne Johnson?
The
Yeah, I was
price
told
was
that.
right, right?
Okay. So I was having, or I was about to have a sex dream about a celebrity. And not only am I not a cheater in person, apparently I'm married in my dreams too. And I'm like, sorry, no, I'm married. Like, I can't even, I couldn't even do it in my dream. It's just sad.
Shame.
Yeah, right?
Shame. You can feel it.
Do you know who it was?
It was,
Snaggletooth.
no, it's the girl from,
Yes.
do you know who it is?
Sure.
What's her name?
What's her name, Katrina?
What's her name?
No, it's a girl from Pitch Perfect. Not Rebel Wilson.
Oh,
Anna Kendrick?
Anna Kendrick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Dang.
that's I'm not even into Anna Kendrick. That's
Yeah.
like she's, if you've ever watched her Twitter or her interviews, she's super awesome as far as like
As a person, yeah. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. Which there you go. My subconscious is attracted to personality more than it is to.
Good for you.
Not that she's unattractive. She's very cute. It's just like if I was, I mean, I don't know who I would pick to be. Oh, Gal Gadot. There you go. That'd
Yeah.
be nice.
That's a top.
Yeah. She's very pretty. Even you
She's
said
very
that.
pretty. Yeah.
My girlfriend doesn't want to watch Game of Thrones because my number one is Amelia Clark. She get jealous.
Wow.
You already told her
Over
that?
a person
not like
that
you're
you've
gonna
never
go-
met.
Wait, but she's never watched an episode. You already told her you're number one?
Well, we talked about like our number.
Who's her number one?
ones. Shit, I can't remember.
Oh, don't watch that show.
Yeah.
Cary Grant.
No, I think it was some like ruggedly handsome older gentleman. I can't remember.
Harrison Ford.
No, I don't remember what it was. We talked.
Ask her. I need you to ask her now.
Right now.
No, I don't remember what it is.
Ruggedly handsome.
Already
Clooney?
forgetting
It was that-
conversations.
It was that dwarf dude.
Who?
That dwarf dude. She likes dwarfs, right?
Tyrion Lannister?
Yeah. I think that's
No.
who
Peter
it was.
Dinklage?
It wasn't him. It was probably like Hugh Jackman or something like that. I can't remember though.
Kind of old.
Yeah, right.
Ruggedly handsome older gentleman. Yeah.
Like a dad.
Yeah.
Old
I
man
don't know.
Logan.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Well, we'll just move on to the next thing. We'll get through all the stuff that Anthony hasn't seen so we can talk about stuff he has. Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet.
oh, I want to see it so bad.
Well, then, no spoilers.
It terrified Oliver.
Yep. He's
No
out.
way.
We'll never watch it
Terrified.
again.
The last few
Terrified.
minutes.
Yes.
Why?
Because there's this part where I mean, you can't spoil a cartoon. It's
Basically,
yeah, I don't. You guys can. Spoil
If there's a
it.
virus in the movie,
Yeah.
the virus representation is kind of scary.
to him. It almost represented itself in zombies, but it's like it's Ralph saying friend, and all you have to do to Oliver is say friend, and he gets
Yeah,
all
please
terrified.
don't do that.
Yeah, he gets
He
super,
might punch you.
Oh my god!
and Oliver hits hard.
He does.
Great.
So no, I really
Because your kid, well, I thought at least one of them were watching Ghostbusters at one point in time.
Parker.
Okay, so it's not Oliver.
It's weird what triggers like fears and stuff.
Yeah, because Ghostbusters, the 3 parts of that movie
Oh, the
scared
librarian,
crap
yeah.
out of me. That was one. The freaking, what do you call them? The hellhounds? What do you call the dogs?
Pterodogs.
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 And what about the cab driver?
No,
I
yeah,
always
that
thought he
one
was a
didn't get
little
me. There was something else, though. I don't damn.
No, but Oliver is very specific on things that trigger
Yeah.
him, and when it happens, he is
He
out.
doesn't like the snowman in
Frozen. He went and hid in.
Olaf?
Yeah.
No.
What?
The don't come back.
Oh,
Oh,
I was like,
They started to show it at his after-school program, and he went and hid in the corner.
really?
I actually
he hates
I
that
have to
part.
go through the movies. They asked me to go through all the movies and mark off the ones that he won't. He doesn't want to watch Zathura. The
Hey,
robot, and that scares him.
Weird, because we watched it together and he liked it. Well, he liked it when we watched it.
Was there anything like that for me growing up, minus like the Leprechaun?
The Leprechaun.
Oh my God, they're making another one.
They are.
It's not with Warwick Davis though, so I'm
What's
I
the
don't.
point?
I don't know. We were exposed to a lot young, so I mean, it didn't.
yeah.
I can't remember being. But did you like Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, I don't think it was as good as the first one.
Not
I
quite.
say that holding the first one in very high regards. Second one's okay. The like outstanding part, anything
The
having
Disney
to do
princess?
with the princesses.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Like time to introduce and the time at near the end of the movie, fucking funny and awesome and cute and
You know what I was bummed about is I read a spoiler before I saw it. I was looking at cast and it said Mario.
So you looked at that like 6 months ago and you went, oh, I can't say anything.
Yeah, and Mario. I thought Mario was going to be in it because it had Mario's voice and who was cast as him, and then he wasn't in it.
Like the guy who does the voice of Mario was in it.
No, it said Mario and it had a person cast as Mario.
Oh.
Is Mario an actual just character in the movie?
Well, they
then?
had some knockoff princesses in the background for like Princess Peach, and
Yeah.
they were just different colors.
What about the Stan Lee cameo?
That was good.
That was good.
people in the audience. Actually, there was a group. Oh,
Yeah, I was like,
legitimately.
"Ah."
So if we say everybody on the internet is represented with like a little me character, people browsing the internet, and one when they run by somewhere is Stanley basically, and he watches them run by in a quarter second. But
There's a lot of things I didn't notice too. Like it had Judy Hopps in it. I noticed her. Was that her name from Zootopia?
yeah, I remember BB said she saw it. I was like, oh, I only remember
No,
the.
I saw her, but I guess there's a portion where Rocket Raccoon's in the back of her squad car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I didn't see that. There's so
I
much
may have
in it.
missed something, but Eeyore being there is
Yeah.
so cool. Spoiler.
No, it was pretty cool. Did you like it, Katrina?
I did. It was fun.
Gal Gadot was in that.
Yeah.
She was.
Random fact: did you know the guy that plays Mario is the same voice actor for the Dragon Parthenax in Skyrim?
I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like at one point in time, I've looked up all the voice acting in Skyrim and stuff. Probably would have noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that guy in person at comic or one of the hotels.
Did you watch the post-credit scene?
Oh God, yes.
Is that one of the best post-credit scenes ever?
Yeah, best post credit.
We won't spoil that.
Okay.
No,
it
you
was
gotta
worth
watch
it.
that.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Overall,
Overall, so good movie.
yeah, it was good.
You know, I felt a little lacking in Fix It Felix and
Calhoun.
Calhoun. Basically, they're in it for maybe collective 10 minutes.
Did you even think it was that long?
I did like why
beginning
they.
end. I like the best or the best thing they tell you to be a parent is
Yeah.
Mister. That's something every parent needs to
All
hear.
the videos he made were pretty funny too.
Oh, you mean
Ralph.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
Felix. Yeah,
No, they were pretty good.
no, it's fine if you're like into internet subculture. Like it's funny. A lot of it.
Speaking of that, do you know who the number one highest paid YouTuber was of 2018?
Ninja.
No,
Nope,
it's,
wasn't even in the top 10.
It's that India.
Ryan's World.
It was Ryan's World.
Sorry, it was.
Was
yeah.
it?
It's Ryan's Toy Review. He
It
made
is.
$22 million.
Good for him.
That's an estimate based on a couple things. 'Cause
Well,
nobody really knows.
A lot of it has to do with his toy line.
No, I've seen
This
it.
was all endorsements as well as.
I've seen it talked about somewhere like the place who put out the numbers is some.
That was the thing you posted on Facebook that Oliver really wanted, right?
Yeah.
You can never know how much they're actually making because of different endorsement deals and stuff. It could be way higher, it could be way lower,
Well, I mean,
depending. And since his thing's suitable for all audiences, he may get a lot of ads that are
yeah.
more cents per dollar or a view, whatever.
Well,
it's
number
called.
one last year was Dan TDM.
oh, really?
He dropped to 3.
Wow.
He's number 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him on the list.
I just looked at Forbes today.
I heard it audibly, so
Yeah, he dropped 3 spots. I think number
So,
2 wasn't Logan Paul. It was the other
it was
Paul brother.
Yeah, Logan's number 10,
Yeah.
and Jake is number 2.
Yeah.
It's got to be so crazy to make that amount of money.
Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie,
People I'd never heard of because I don't watch those things.
I know who they are because they're big, but I've never watched. I only ever watched a PewDiePie video. I've
I
seen him
never
in
have
other
either.
people's videos, and I don't.
I've
hit the
watched
guy.
probably a dozen Dan TDM videos because I was making sure that it was appropriate
Yeah.
for the kids, and I didn't let them watch it at first. And then I watched a couple videos, and I'm like, actually, this guy's actually kind of funny. I mean, towards kids and stuff, you know. Oh, Dude Perfect was on there.
Yes, it
They
was.
were number 4.
They were up there.
They might have been above Dan TDM. Maybe Dan TDM dropped to 4. I know he was in the top couple.
Yeah, I heard the list and I was like, okay. I was expecting somebody that wasn't on there to be up there.
Well, I can tell you that the Ryan's toys are not only difficult to find, but when you find them, they're locked behind glass at a lot of Walmarts.
How old is that kid from that?
6?
Maybe. He might be a little older.
Because I would say he's probably been doing it for these toy reviews for like 5 years now, right?
Well, no, because there was Evan Tube HD, and he wasn't the first one to do it.
No.
Is it the same channel?
No.
No.
Because the kid that was Evan that was doing them, because this is Ryan, the kid that was Evan that was doing them is like 11 now.
Okay, but so if it's a brand new channel, this person started, you're saying like from scratch within the last
Couple years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Maybe yeah,
And
because he's little.
Yeah. And I was wondering if he had an older brother. I've never
He has
watched
an older sister.
a second of it.
Well, the Evan kid has a older sister and a younger sister.
And to be honest, there's a lot of weird things where there's some channels that focus on kids like, I don't know, this is probably a fine one, but like kids react to whatever videos, where people putting out the videos, they don't have kids, so they hire kids to be on the show.
That's weird.
It is, and there's some stuff that YouTube doesn't like really protect kids from child exploitation video. There's a whole thing that has happened over the last year, but I actually didn't know if this person from the toy review was basically they rotate kids. Is it not
No, it's
his
the same
person?
kid.
So
Same kid.
this is actually like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay. I've never watched a second.
I imagine that what it was is probably some sort of multimedia director or somebody that's in some sort of editing or something had a kid and saw how popular these toy review videos are and made it cleaner.
Wanted to get in the game. Could have been a YouTuber had a kid and then like, okay, here's. I mean, or whatever. You don't have to be a YouTuber to do it, but
I think a lot of these
they played their cards right, and
I think a lot of these ones early on were people that had multimedia degrees or degrees in film and editing and stuff like that.
half of what it takes is just a catchy title with like clickbaity like pictures, kind of, and just posting like just all the time and just
That's what it is.
beating the algorithm to get yourself promoted. Like, because there's always like watch this video instead. You never know what YouTube's going to recommend, but there are ways to try to by making tags and stuff and posting different lengths and stuff that you can be recommended higher. I think people who abuse that or take advantage of it,
Well, the more content you put out, the higher likelihood it is too.
then they recommend it. Yes, and I think anything over 10 minutes in length, YouTube algorithm favors as well. So it's a bunch of different things. People do science behind. I don't even.
The boys only get time on their tablets if they've been good during the day, and they only get 40 minutes during the week. On the weekend, it's a little more. But they'll be like, I'm like, oh, time's up. And they're like, can I finish this video? I'm like, how much time's up? They're like,
12
18
minutes.
minutes, 12 minutes, 10. I'm like, what? No.
And it's just them opening these stupid eggs half the time.
And you can't watch if you tried to sit down and watch any of these kid videos.
I mean, the video game ones a few times just because.
Is it hard to watch?
It depends on the person. That's like Dan TDM. I can actually watch it because he's kind of catchy.
I was watching one of BB's, her niece watching iPad. But they're watching, I know it was close to Halloween time, like basically like the YouTubers, instead of telling like scary stories, they pretend like, oh, I'm up at 2 a.m. I'm here in my house. Something weird's going to happen. And it's just basically the most, to me, cringy, just like, oh, this is so obnoxious. Like, but the little 5-year-old girl's like, oh my God, there's a ghost in the house. Like, oh man, no wonder they have 18 million views. And
Yeah. Fooling the.
I'm like, I just can't stand it. It's like the worst Nickelodeon show I've ever seen.
I wanna touch on one more thing before we get to Fantastic Beast, which you've seen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Katrina and I
Congratulations.
2 weekends ago filed for divorce. No, I'm just kidding.
Congratulations.
We went to this convention in Anaheim called DesignerCon. It was our first convention we attended as press. And we've gotten a few other ones, but things have fallen through. But so we went up to Anaheim, and it was his first time in Anaheim. It was previously in Pasadena. It's all just like it sounds, DesignerCon. All vinyl toys, statues, customizable toys, artwork. I wish I could remember what that booth was called. There's this guy that makes layered pictures of video games that make them look like actual arcades. And it was really cool. It's one of the few places,
boxes?
the shadow boxes that made me stop and go, holy shit.
So it's all the cool tables at Comic-Con just so all the fillers taken out, all the people selling toys.
Handmade stuff.
There were some toys still, but it was like pop figures because that's vinyl toys.
I would say, what's the line that's drawn? You can't just go in there with.
Well, the big booths
Hot
this year.
Wheels.
This was the first year that they had some big booths, and
Ugly Dolls.
and Ugly Dolls was there.
That's
I didn't like the preview for the movie.
I
Ugly
didn't really
Dolls.
either.
I don't like what they did to him.
what
featuring
they did to
Pitbull.
them.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
It's like Trolls Part 2.
Except Trolls didn't look like this. I was like, oh, this looks bad.
It all looks bad.
I imagined more of like a all real monsters type of feel to Ugly Dolls, not a
I would have said something in between.
yeah.
But the big ones were UCC, Mondo, and Funko were all there.
Okay,
Funko wasn't selling pops at all.
Nope.
that's not a big moneymaker.
Well, it wasn't about money. It's about pushing a line. Their booth was, and I'll put pictures up on Twitter. Their booth was Saturday morning cartoons,
Okay,
and it was all cereals, and you could taste test their cereals there. And they had a bunch of different cereals, and they also had T-shirts, and they had bowls. So
With spoons.
the bowls came with spoons, and they were all like if it was Skeletor, it was Skeletor pop figure on their outside of it and stuff. So there was that. And it's like kind of boxy look. So we bought a bunch of stuff because there were only 40 or 50 people in line in front of us,
nice.
and you could walk right up. I got a cool Count Chocula shirt. Katrina got a Astro and Elroy
Yeah.
shirt.
Jetsons.
Yeah,
I don't know Jetson.
Jetsons. You never watched the Jetsons?
Was that like the Flintstones?
Did you ever watch the Snorks?
No, I don't think I ever watched the Snorks.
Okay, but it was and we walked to the Mondo booth at UCC, and it was just a really really cool convention. No cosplay. The aisles were double wide, so you could walk through. You never bumped into anybody.
Good.
Unless you wanted to.
Yeah,
You're press. You can do what the fuck you want.
yeah, right. As press, you got in an hour before, which is cool.
Were you flashing your badge to everybody?
No,
You
but
didn't ask?
it's going to be a convention that's going to be big here in the next couple of years. I think it's going to be massive here because it is such a cool. Looking at all there was one that was just a guy that built crazy replicas of things in Lego.
Oh,
A
cool.
full-size Avengers Tower. You could see into the top Avengers Tower that had all the Iron Man armor on the top
Is
floor.
he selling it?
Some of them you had to ask for prices,
Pricing.
but some of them were fucking crazy.
Just the amount of money probably
Time.
from Legos alone.
Oh, I don't know. I have a ton of Legos in my garage. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, if you bought just spare pieces, that might be
Yeah, but when
cheap.
you got about like 300 red blocks and 450 yellow
I made a
blocks
miniature
and-
golf strip out of Legos for work one time out of what I had in the garage. So you'd be surprised what you can put together.
miniature golf strip.
Yeah, we had a miniature golf
This
contest
was one of the things built out of Legos.
at
I mean,
work,
It's so far away.
and we had to
You
each
can't
make
see
our
from
own
that
hole.
far?
No,
No,
he's
it's
blind.
I could see
Yeah,
what
it's
it
a
was.
portrait of Rick.
I just want to see how it's built. So it's just 2D.
That one was 2D,
Okay.
but that's not all of them. I'm trying to find one that's.
Don't worry, he can't see it. He's blind.
I wanted to see how big to scale that was. If you can see the Lego.
You need to put a quarter next
This
to it
is
next time.
this is a Kubo one. Like if you look, that one's kind of jumbled because I took it kind of close.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
That one, like I talk about, it, but at Comic-Con this last year at the Lego booth, that maybe it wasn't Legos, Duplo, I don't know. That big like diorama thing they had about the
That's
Pokemon.
Mega Blocks.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that shit was so fucking
is.
cool looking. It's
Yeah.
like the Marvel one that had the action figures, but like all fighting each other. I love those like still dioramas or whatever, but
But if you're
it's tight.
within a couple hours of that convention, it is absolutely worth going to it to check it out. Just a lot of cool stuff. The boys got autograph pictures or autograph posters from the founder of Funko, which is pretty cool.
Who was
Ready?
not having it.
No, he was tired.
He was really
He was
tired.
tired. Well, I don't think he usually goes and does those things for that long, and he was there for the whole weekend. And then immediately, I follow him on Instagram. Immediately flew out to the Philippines,
Well, it's because he's pushing his T-shirts. Like those are his T-shirts. They're not.
and that's all based out of San Diego, based out of downtown. Not Funko, but that portion of the company, the T-shirts and all that stuff. The rest of it's based out of Everett,
And now he's
Washington.
slinging it to the Philippines.
I just think he was going on vacation,
Oh, not deep cave diving. I hope.
but it's very cool. That wasn't in the Philippines, was it?
I think so, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't go deep cave diving very often.
Do
It's
you
a
go
really
diving at
dangerous
all?
hobby. We
Yeah.
were in Vegas and went in the pool, and Corey wouldn't even take his shirt off to go in the pool.
We went to the pool together.
No,
We
because
all-
you didn't. The
we
rest
all
of
went
us
to the
did.
pool.
I don't think I ever went to a pool.
He doesn't go near
side
water.
in Vegas.
I know. I'm
What
telling
did you do when we all
he
went
went
to
and
the
gambled
pool?
while we all. It was me.
Is that what I did?
It was us and Brian and Lacey, and we all went to the pool.
Well, I don't even remember.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of different pools. It was a party
Yeah.
popping at the pool,
Yeah.
man. That was cool.
It was fun.
But Fantastic Beasts.
Where do you want to start?
I know.
It's the Crimes of Grindelwald
Then
or Grindelwald.
I know
Okay.
that I'm known for giving B's on here,
But you're gonna get the D tonight.
but this wasn't a B. This movie was bad.
I liked it.
It was so bad.
I thought it was pretty cool.
What was there to like?
Well, I feel like there could have been more beasts.
I think there was 20 good minutes. The beginning was excellent with Grindelwald escaping and that whole
yeah, that was
Carriage
that, was
scene?
that whole
badass.
situation.
My
they
favorite
just make
monster was the big like tiger dragon thing. I don't even remember
Cool
what it was
looking.
called. That thing was
So
awesome.
it's a 2-hour movie. The 10 minutes at the beginning was great. The 10 minutes of the carnival,
circus?
basically circus, was really cool, and the very end. But nothing else really happened.
It
in the
didn't
movie.
flow
I
very
felt
well.
like, yeah, I don't feel like it flowed very well either. Now that you say that, I thought that end scene where he's standing in the middle and he's talking to everybody around. I feel like in the beginning part of that was really good, and then it kind of just like
Turned white power really fast.
Yes,
And that immediately what I thought of is when the white power recruiters prey on the gullible.
Yeah.
Because what was her name?
Queenie.
yeah,
That's what she was. She was somebody that had the wool pulled over her eyes because she was looking for something, and it just spoke to her on that one issue,
Right.
and it clouded her judgment on. I
Everything
felt so bad
else.
for Jacob.
Queenie's not a very
Yeah.
good character.
She was better in the first one.
Yeah, and this basically she's such an asshole. She bewitched her husband, took
They're
him,
not married.
or her boyfriend, took him like to another country with like basically until she stopped was going to forcibly like marry him despite whatever he felt. And then when he woke up out of it and said, "You're crazy," she's like, "Fuck you, I'm out of here," and fucking apparated.
like what the fuck?
And fucking left him in another country. He didn't even know where the fuck he is.
Well, he's with his best friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Can you? I know it's American law to you can't marry Muggles. At least back then, was in the Harry Potter books in Europe. Was that ever a
I don't
thing?
know. I don't think so.
Because there are a couple people who are married to Muggle. Like, me mom's a Muggle, me dad's a witch.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah, but that was later on too in the timeline.
So
Quite
you
a
think
bit
it's just
later.
as strict in Europe at that point in time?
It seemed like it.
I'm trying to. I can't recall if there. Are
I
any-
like Jude Law as Dumbledore.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, the story was just so bad.
I feel like it was a little more drawn out than what I thought.
Not
it
that
was
much
gonna be.
happened. Like the kids were getting bored. Like there was some
Oliver
good
was
information.
totally
oh,
bored.
and Zoe Kravitz. I'm supposed to care about that character. I didn't care about her at all. Not at all. Not
Well, the
one
One part
prophecy.
was pretty dark though, where
Okay, there were
the
two
thing she
really
was-
fucked up parts.
Yeah, where the thing she was like most afraid of or whatever was freaking dead kid.
Did you
floating
think that was
around.
cool?
That freaked.
The Bogart, because you know what the fuck that
No,
was.
you didn't know. The reveal for that was fine.
I was like, that is fucking dark.
But they're
When-
making a big deal about her being a Lestrange. That was the
Which-
big deal that they were making.
It's not a big deal to me at all because
No.
I don't give a rat's ass.
When Grindelwald took over that family's house,
Fucking dark.
Parker goes, "That's too far." Like loud in the theater.
Like, legitimate. Like, so it starts off with him, like, kissing his frog goodbye and tossing out the window. I'm like, oh, well, that's fucked up. But they have to go the extra mile to tell you this guy's fucked up. Basically by fucking
Killing a kid.
cadavering a fucking
2-year-old.
2-year-old. Yeah, tops. That's fucking harsh.
I feel like it was a 2-hour movie that just gave you tidbits of information but didn't really tell a story. I go into those movies with the most rose-colored glasses
Yeah.
because I'm going to love it no matter what, and it was
Right.
easily the worst movie in the franchise, period. I mean, I liked the first Fantastic Beast. I thought it was pretty decent. Like, it wasn't, none of them are as good as the Harry Potter movies.
It was the scene in the Ministry of Magic was not too bad. Like I like the bookcases that were moving.
That whole chase, kind of.
I don't know. Like them trying to get in there.
Oh, like the cats, too?
The cats were kind of
Yeah, those are
interesting.
kind of
Those
neat.
things were scary.
Anything with Newt bad? That kind of happened?
No, but they didn't. I mean, he wasn't good either.
When it went off to anything Lestrange or that whole down the rabbit hole of the prophecy of something that I don't give a rat's ass about. I don't understand.
The reveal of who he really was
Who's they talking about?
interesting.
Like, wasn't matter about the prophecy is dumb. Like somebody who was a strange son comes back, finds greatness, or something like.
I like some of the information that
But-
we were given, but I don't like the way it was given to us. It just, to me, it seemed like it was such a mess.
They could have done it in half an hour.
Well, it's like, first of all, Dumbledore didn't have another brother.
He had a sister though. Yeah.
He had Aberforth, him, and the sister.
Liliana.
So, and I thought, and a lot of people are upset about that because I mean, it goes pretty deep into the lore and the background of that. But what I thought is that possibly could be that Grindelwald is lying to him.
That's what I was gonna say.
So the Phoenix shows up, dog.
Does it?
Yeah, he has a phoenix. That's what he was taking care of.
If you would think, I would think he was lying, except the goddamn Phoenix showed up.
And she hasn't said everything.
Yeah,
And
maybe
who knows more about his past than Grindelwald or Dumbledore's
maybe he's
past.
keeping his sister hostage, and that's how she dies. And that's why Phoenix would be there, because his Liliana, Dumbledore is there.
I looked it up afterwards, and at first, I don't know why I thought the whole movie I was thinking. I don't know why I mistook it. That was Dumbledore's sister's kid for a long minute. It's like, oh wait, no, he said it was his fucking not his nephew, his brother. So that means Dumbledore's parents, who. So if you read the history, which I don't know what book it would have talked about.
Well, his dad killed a bunch of muggles.
Right. They were both sent to Azkaban in 1800 and something. He died first. She died in 1899 or something. The same year that he had a three-way duel with Grindelwald, I think, and his brother, and his sister got killed in the crossfire. So she's been dead since then. And now cut to 1933, he's got an 18-year-old brother.
Where did it say that it was a three-way battle?
I read this. There was some article talking about.
Because it didn't say that in any of the books.
No,
it could have said it on
and-
Pottermore.
Yeah,
Maybe it talked about the inconsistencies of the timeline, and I'm not one to argue. I haven't read the books,
I
but
just finished the third one again today.
so anyway, I thought like, well, she's gonna have to rewrite the timeline, or he's lying.
You saw how pissed people were about McGonagall, right?
How she had like 2 seconds.
No, that she
No.
wasn't even born yet when in that timeline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it was. I'm understanding that wizards age differently.
Yeah, but she wasn't born yet. Like this was in 1927. She wasn't born until like 1935. I don't know exactly the years, but she wasn't born yet. And people are like, oh, well, it could have been her parents.
Was that a Pottermore thing? You know,
Well, you could look up her. You can look. She has ages and dates and births for all of them.
all her characters, even the
Interesting.
small insignificant
And then
ones.
So is it the Star Wars thing where whatever happens in the movie trumps whatever happens, or
well, she can do whatever she
or
wants.
is it a different cinematic universe versus the
But
novel
she's
universe?
writing herself into a corner if she keeps doing stuff like that.
Well, then she could just say, "Well, the book is different than the movie," and then call that a
That's
day.
fine.
So in which case, Dumbledore's parents were never locked up, and
That's kind of hard when you played it so close to the books for the Harry Potter movie.
but she's fucking writing it. So if anybody
Yeah.
needs to be true to her own work, it's her.
But this is weird to say. She could be a one-hit wonder. Like the Harry Potter thing was her thing. She's tried to write other stuff under different names, and they haven't been successful.
It's hard,
Interesting.
hard to capture the magic.
Yeah,
There's a right time, the right
and-
story.
I feel like this has information that could make the next few movies really good, but that was just it had no flow. It was very spotty. The story was a mess.
I wonder if she's trying to stretch it out over too many films.
Well, it's supposed to be 3 originally, and now it's 5.
I thought that Nicholas Flamel was going to be a bigger part for some reason when they introduced him.
Or Nagini.
Or Nagini. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
But I don't think Nagini's going anywhere.
obviously not until
Maybe they'll just set.
Neville chops her in half.
Maybe they set up both of those characters for the next movie.
Maybe. I mean, and that's fine too. I mean, obviously they did that with his brother as well. Was anybody hoping that you would see a young Tom Riddle
Yeah.
at the
But he
timeline?
wouldn't be at school
Not yet.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, obviously the timeline doesn't matter.
And who was McCready? Did you ever look up who McCready was?
I thought McCready was he was a Death Eater further, not this McCready, but that name belonged to Death Eaters.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I can't.
Because he looked to be wearing... I didn't like the robes. Because they were blue instead of black. I thought that was kind of strange because one of the houses is a blue color.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Do you think by the fifth movie, obviously you're gonna get some fucking badass wizard battle sooner or later? And
You're hoping.
This movie's not making money in the United States. It's making money overseas where it's doing very well, but here it's not making money. Do you think to tie them together at the very end, you'll see Tom Riddle or some sort of Voldemort, or find out that Nagini is his mom or in some way related to him? That's why he used that as a Horcrux, or maybe he's taking that from Grindelwald because Grindelwald was the big baddie before he was. I don't know, but there's got to be some sort of connection there.
Voldemort doesn't look very Asian to me.
Well, he doesn't look very anything. He doesn't have a nose.
He looks like a snake.
True.
That'd be cool. We don't know how soon. We got
No. I
three
mean,
movies left.
Yeah, 3 movies left over the next 6 years.
I could see it in the isolation issue, is that she's isolated. She has nobody. And then the one person she did have left her. And Tom Riddle is an orphan. Like, he's left to fend for himself. He can talk anybody into anything. Poor Slughorn.
No, I'll give it a B.
Just kidding. I wish they would have showed some stuff they just glossed over. Like, you expect to show a prequel to see the rise of Grindelwald or the relationship between him and Dumbledore. But as the movie stands, that stuff already happened, and now we're just already in the middle of it. So you don't see the origin of any of that.
I think you might get some origin of that like you did with Snape with the tears when they used the Pensieve.
The Blood
Maybe.
Pact.
Well, I mean, I think they'll have to explain that more, but when you saw Dumbledore look in the mirror of Erised.
Right. That was as close as it got to, I guess to some, it's very admissible that they were even in love. Like, it's
They hinted about it.
best friends. More than that.
Well, they even said that more than that, right?
Yeah.
We're
and
closer than that.
that's as far as they went with that. But a couple movies left. What was I going to say?
A lot of movies left. 3.
Yeah.
So they are doing 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just need
That's
to write
a
the
lot.
shit.
I wish Grindelwald was a little bit more coercive or...
I was expecting a post-credit scene. I stayed for it.
So do we.
I was disappointed.
His eye was just bothering me.
Yeah.
He comes off
I
as-
loved his hair, though. I wish I could have my hair look like that
As
all
such
the time.
a creep. And he doesn't seem very personable. Like, I'd have a hard time believing, except by the last...
Is that
speech
like
a little
when
bit.
you see Voldemort try to hug Neville in the last one and it's
Yeah.
like so awkward?
Like, who would follow this guy? He's not even very, you could imagine...
He's tapping into a thing. Well, Trump, man, they're tapping into a part of these people's brains that they're saying, if you follow me, I'll give you this. So, I mean, it obviously worked because we have a fucking crazy person as president.
I thought it was pretty brutal how his one follower just got freaking dissipated in the blue fire.
Because he didn't really believe.
Yeah, that tripped me out, though. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, he got fucked up.
I thought it was against his character. He threw out the little lizard. He killed kids. When he was basically escaped from prison when they didn't show it, how he actually escaped from prison. Somebody else had taken his face.
Volley juice, man.
Why
He did the same thing that
Why did he
Megamind
bounce
did.
out of there as soon as he got out? Why did he stick around, escort
Because you got
himself?
to sell it. Because then they'll be looking for him.
But he immediately freed his henchman, which I don't know why he gave a rat's ass about. He could have been halfway to Kathmandu. He could have apparated as soon as he got out of there, legitimately, and left that guy to fucking rot in prison. Why did he give a shit? I know it makes for a good scene.
Maybe he
but
wanted everybody to know that he was out. I don't know.
in terms of the character who actually they go out of the way to show this motherfucker don't care about nobody, maybe except one person. I thought it was a little weird.
The one girl that Newt is like in love with bothered me. Just her face. She was so like just monotone. Like
Tina?
yeah,
Sad face.
I like
sad
her.
face all the time. It bothered me.
What's funny is she's
They're
not like
similar.
that in other things.
They're kindred spirits. They are outsiders. They are different. People don't like them.
Newt's brother was a cool dude.
What?
Since when do the good guys kill without any like they didn't stun that girl? They killed her immediately.
Which girl are we talking about?
Ooh.
The one Grindelwald person that started to move. There was like that weird exchange.
I was
Oh,
just,
that was weird.
this is one thing. The government in this movie, I could give a rat's ass if they all got fucking wiped out by Grindelwald, because a lot of movies like they show the bureaucracy as being like ass
Corruption.
wipes. But in this movie, like more than the first one, like everybody in the government's an ass wipe to Newt and to Credence. Like, well, we're gonna put out a hit on him. Basically, he needs to be killed. Like, what the fuck? What happened to a fair fucking trial and shit? I know the Americans wanted the fucking acid
That was
new-
brutal too. In the
That
first
was
one.
brutal.
These fucking regimes need to be taken out. So fuck. Okay, Grindelwald, go ahead.
Old timey laws.
Because I guess I can see why people get behind because that shit is fucked up. There, any government in the Harry Potter series seems to be assholes at the very least.
I don't know. At the very end, Kingsley becomes the.
Hopefully, so at the end it improves.
I know it's a little thing, but like anytime you see him, you know that he's like super powerful. Like he's blocking all the Death Eater's spells as they're going back into the thing, and he also freezes that one Death Eater that comes through the
Window.
The window, yeah.
I watched a video of somebody's arguing against how Abracadabra not ruined. It wasn't a good choice to even make that spell in the fictional universe because magical battles without it are so much interesting. And I didn't read the books, but he's reading excerpts. So this is a book review, not a movie thing. But I guess the fight with Dumbledore and Voldemort in the Hall of Mysteries, or even the whole thing, so much more expansive. People casting weird spells like turning stairs into slide or whatever.
Yeah.
And all sorts. I was like, oh, that's
I was
pretty
bummed
cool.
that they didn't go over that giants can't be hit with spells. Like
Yeah,
the magic just bounces off of them.
they
And
mentioned it a little bit, but
in
not.
the battle at Hogwarts at the very end, Hagrid is like wrecking fools, like running through, and they're shooting him with spells, but nothing's
They can't
happening
do
because he's half
anything.
giant.
Yeah.
He's just fucking wrecking.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
never thought
and
about
I was
that.
bummed about it.
That's
And
why
there
they
was
should have invested
more-
in a gun.
Yeah.
there was more stuff with McGonagall as well. Like there's
Okay, I read a couple episodes. She did a couple things in that last battle. That's fucking.
like she can hold her own against Voldemort.
She came out charging on a stampede of bookcases or something like that.
I don't remember specifically.
That
It's
was
been a
one
while
thing I was
since
like,
read
that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah, the battle was much more.
But all the Death Eaters do, like the
Crazy.
main spell is Avada Kedavra, which is just die. It's basically a gun.
Well, it's the worst you can do.
Right. But everything else is so much more imaginative. And there are a couple things, like, so in the movie wise, like Grindelwald and the whole first chase, it's kind of cool. Just different spells, filling the thing full of water and all that. Just like new with his
I
animals.
like the
Anytime there's something.
the coach being pulled by Thestrals. It was pretty neat.
Yeah. That's cool. Although, why couldn't they? Is that the safest way to transport somebody?
I don't know.
At that time.
Flu powder, port key, apparition.
I think the port key would have been the best out of those.
Yeah. Like if you have
Maybe
to,
it wasn't invented
they were
yet.
gonna fly across the Atlantic. That was
There was a port key was invented because Newt took it to get into Paris.
yeah.
There you go.
And they do apparate
Right.
a lot.
But I think that's you moving your body yourself.
Can you not grab a friend and apparate?
You can, but they trace it.
Then you get splinched.
and you
like
get
Ron did.
splinched.
And what was the last Flu Network? That might be a local thing.
Well, I mean, you'd have to send somebody first, and then send him, and then send the next person. But you'd have to convince him to say the word
To where he
to
needed
get
to
him
go.
where he goes.
Okay, so don't use that one.
So
but all the
port
others
key.
might be okay.
I think port key would be the way to go.
Right. And you think that'd be like between ministries, they might have such a
Yeah,
thing?
you'd think they would have
Unless
a.
he like let go of it midway.
Because taking a freaking old cart and or a horse and carriage across the
looks
ocean.
cool.
It looks cool. I guess it makes for entertaining visual stimuli.
This really was one of those movies where they showed all the best parts in the trailer, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to walk out. I thought you were going to love it,
No,
which is funny
not
because
a big fan.
it's a weird. It's not like a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. Like it's just
not a great movie. It
I
was a
didn't-
good movie.
I
I,
didn't
liked
even,
it, but
I didn't even think it was a good movie.
like you'll watch it again though when it comes out. It's like you know, it wasn't freaking Star Wars the holiday special, dude.
Oh my
Did you even
God.
finish watching it? Like you seemed
You
just
checked
Oh,
like,
out
you
after
checked
like
out.
20 minutes.
I mean, when you're watching like 20 minutes of a space,
It was bad.
what
Space
are you
opera.
talking
The
about?
Star Wars holiday special.
What
that
is
was made in
that?
79.
It was made in 7. Yeah,
so after the first Star Wars came out for that Christmas, like CBS or whatever station
77.
aired a 2-hour special,
I thought it said 79.
and they actually got
Yeah, I think it was.
they're
78.
contractually obliged. Harrison Ford,
Itchy, lumpy.
yeah, Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher.
It was so bad.
They all had to appear in it, but basically it's centered around three Wookiees going about their everyday life
78.
with musical numbers basically dropped in. So they're and like little comedy skits too.
Yeah.
So they were watching like Wookiee television, and they're watching a cooking channel, and some weird like 4-armed alien starts going. It's just weird.
Interesting.
It's so long and drawn
It
out
was
though.
not interesting.
For anything that transpired, it takes like 20 minutes. It's just so drawn. It could have been half as long, and
Well, there's probably a reason I never heard about it.
it's kind
It's
of
pretty well known for being as bad as it is.
It was bootlegged a lot, so it's kind of like just like the Pamela Anderson like a porno video or her sex tape or whatever. I remember hearing about that when I was a kid. That was bootlegged all over the place. Same thing for this, because nobody ever reprinted it on for a real release. But
Tidbit of news: Adult Swim announced that they're doing a Blade Runner anime.
That's awesome.
Really?
Katrina
Prequel,
just scowled
sequel?
because she doesn't like anime.
we don't know anything
don't
about
know.
it.
That lends itself to being.
Netflix is also making a live action Cowboy Bebop TV show, and I'm kind of like, a bunch of people are excited about it, but I am not excited about it because Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime.
When
and
has Hollywood ever messed up a live action anime? The Dragon Ball Z movie kicked ass. The Avatar movie fucking killed it.
Death Note?
Ghost in the Shell?
Those are all great films.
Those are all terrible movies. And
My favorite anime is Vampire Hunter D.
That's great.
And
Did you ever watch Hellsing?
was that the second one?
No, Hellsing is about Dracula, basically. It's really, really good, gory type of anime. I think you'd actually like that since you like Vampire Hunter D so much.
Maybe.
I like 5 or 6 animes, and then the
I'm
rest
not
of
big
them I
on-
can't stand.
Yeah. I do not like Dragon Ball Z
I really
at
like
all. Not even a little bit.
I like space westerns, so like Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star and stuff like that.
Um,
Better than that, Netflix announced a Ronald Dahl shared universe.
what's that?
You know,
James and Giant
Oh,
Peach, Matilda.
So they listed the first one to make is it animated? I think so.
oh, I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Oh, so it's gonna be an animated shared universe on Netflix. They obtained the rights.
I
So
did see that.
first making Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, but characters can cross over.
Is that BFG? Is that too?
Yeah.
BFG? Yep.
Um,
So I was like, that's pretty cool.
this does go into the next thing that I wanted to talk about to wrap this up. The Netflix movie that I've watched 9 times in the last week and a half.
I just watched it.
The Christmas Chronicles. We watched for the first time last Friday.
Yes.
And
And every day since then.
yeah, the boys want to
You
watch
really
it
like that
nonstop.
movie.
Kurt Russell may be the best Santa.
Yeah, I think
He is.
I think he's
excellent.
the best Santa.
I like that movie. I'm not big on the elves in the movie, but
I thought they were interesting.
I know that it's cheesy, which is a lot of Christmas movies.
It's
I know
supposed
that
to be.
it's part Hallmark movie, but I enjoy that movie a lot.
You know what it made me yearn for? A superhero movie where the superhero knows everything about everybody, the way Santa Claus did, because those were the coolest scenes. Like, I know you. Let me tell you about your past. Believe me, you know.
Do you know how much that Mickey Mantle card is worth?
No, I'm guessing a couple mil.
Yeah, it's worth like $2.something million.
Yeah,
That lady was such a bitch. Let him have the freaking Porsche.
Everyone was assholes to him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like the guy's speaking, the Santa's speaking in his native language, and the guy
Yeah.
calls him a moron.
Yeah. So all his like interactions with people, where he basically tells them who they are to a T.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking tight.
I like how he did it with the cop.
Yeah.
He was basically playing
These-
Cupid.
Speaking of good kids, these kids were always good.
Okay, the singing sequence, cheesy or awesome?
That was
Both.
my least favorite.
I love it.
It was both.
I
I
love
think
it.
it went on too long.
I think it could go on the whole movie. I'd be all right.
That was my least favorite, along with the elves, kind of because they made it way more like they looked way too animated.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I wasn't
it
big on
didn't
the
fit.
elves.
Like even like the lighting just seemed.
I did like the how the bag worked though.
With the
Oh,
coal and the,
fine with that. That's cool.
presents.
Oh yeah, and the coal. Anybody that was bad opened up coal. That was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the movie. I'm okay taking a bit of cheese and a bit of
I like a sassy Santa Claus.
yeah
I don't do ho 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 kid.
fake
Some
news.
fake
The
news.
fake news was great.
It's the only time I've ever heard somebody utter that phrase,
And not get
I
angry?
It wasn't revolting.
Yeah.
He says it. He's so good.
Yeah, I love Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
I was just thinking Captain Ron, dude, the whole time.
and that's his beard.
yeah.
Like I was trying to look it up to find out if it's him. And they said 80% of that whole get up was him, like the hair and the beard and everything. So
I like it. He has a rockin' mustache, man.
yeah, he can pull off a like in the Hateful Eight. That thing was ridiculous.
Yeah. I like how they did his get up too. How it was like a leather jacket and with more of like real, almost real looking fur for his hat and his jacket.
Yeah.
I thought it made it look more like realistic. And I love how he was getting offended that people keep drawing him as being fat Santa.
Yeah.
Does my butt look like that?
For as low as that budget was, though, they did pretty decent on the reindeer too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And at the end, he had the power the whole time. That's cool.
And I like that Mrs. Claus was Goldie Hawn.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
sick.
That was good.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I did too. A lot.
I made her watch it actually today before we came over.
Captain Marvel.
Were you okay with the dad dying?
That was sad.
They
It made
didn't
me
show
tear up
it.
at the end when he looks in the little ornament and he says he's proud of him. Like I had some tears coming out of my eyes. That made me really sad.
You want to talk Captain Marvel before we say goodbye?
You watched it?
I did.
How was the movie?
Well, I mean, we're high up on the list of people that Marvel likes to talk to.
Yeah.
But not that high.
So we got a screener and we already saw it.
There's
That's
gonna
awesome.
be an Infinity War trailer too
Tomorrow.
dropping. Yeah.
And December 8th, Far From Home,
What is
Trailer.
Far From Home?
the next
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movie.
Dude.
Oh, got it.
So, yeah, Captain Marvel. You guys you watch the trailer?
I did.
Would you
Second-
give it a ranking?
What?
Captain Marvel.
the trailer.
The
movie or
trailer?
the trailer?
Oh, I thought you said you got a pre-screen and you've seen it already.
Why,
Dude, that movie
why
doesn't
would
come
you
out-
believe him? Don't believe him.
Don't believe me.
He's such a liar.
Jesus. You know I'm gullible.
We did get a screener for a movie, but
haven't
we didn't
watched it
watch
yet.
it. We need to watch it.
What movie is it?
It's called
Protests? No.
They Come at Night. It's the sequel. It Comes at Night, except
Start with a P.
it's a different coming.
looking it up.
Yeah.
It's got Jay Duplass and Pablo Pascal.
He's in
It
everything.
takes place on
He's gonna be
Mars.
in Mandalorian TV show.
Who? Jay Duplass?
Pablo Pascal.
Yes, he is. I believe.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I've seen a lot of people in the comments on the trailer
She needs to smile more.
just talking about. I think she looked great. I think the part's great. A couple of the lines in the trailer to me are like a little cringeworthy, but I trust Marvel
What?
and I.
Superhero warrior.
What was that? One of the lines?
You're a warrior or something. Superhero warrior or something like that. I was fascinated by young Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that
the
looks
whole
pretty good.
time. I'm like, a whole movie with this cool looking young effect. Sign me up.
I think it's gonna be good. I like her when she's flying in space, taking shit out. The fight with the old woman who you knew was gonna be a Skrull.
Obviously,
And you saw the back of Ronan in this trailer.
yes, you did.
Yeah,
And this movie is like what 20 years before, so he's still a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
but he's not a bad guy.
he's not a bad guy. Yeah, where was Zangief in Wreck-It Ralph? He was only in it for a second when they were talking about
The funny ass joke was,
the waxing.
look at his legs. Look at the.
This is on purpose.
You know, Zangief has like X's that like of hair. I was like, he waxes. No, that's how his hair grows. Ralph, no, look at him. Or it was the opposite way. Ralph didn't believe it. Look, it's a perfect X. You know, that's tailored. Oh my God, Zangief waxes. Oh my.
The first thing you get on your Pip-Boy in Fallout 76 is like a Nuka-Cola version of Tapper.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That game's underrated.
Tapper.
No. I guess when everybody hates it, then it's easy to be underrated.
I haven't played it I haven't watched anything on it. I really want to, but
I played
just
like 5
haven't.
or 6 hours and it's pretty fun. I just haven't had time.
I feel like you would have played more by then.
I just don't have time.
I will say I've heard more of the drama lately. So, obviously, people complain about broken things in game. I know
the game has bugs when it first comes out. People
I-
just
I-
analyze stuff.
Bethesda's.
I just always scroll through a list of a thread. People collect all the basically glitches from quest turn-ins, blah blah blah, and the fucking thing was fucking massive. Like I don't think they had a deadline. I don't think they skipped some of the bug checking.
You want me to tell you the worst problem I've had with it? The absolute worst problem?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was down for maintenance and it kicked me off.
It happens.
Yeah.
Wow, I went for maintenance. every
Nothing
week.
else has happened to me in that game.
That's good.
That's how it was for me with Mass Effect. Mass Effect Andromeda, the newest Mass Effect game, came out, and it was a really good game, and it just got horrible reviews from pretty much everybody talking about all these crazy bugs and stuff like that, and I'm like, There's nothing happened to
I
me.
wonder if it's system dependent, though. I wonder if people plan on PC for both of those.
I know
Well,
PC
get it
has had the
worse?
worst problem with Fallout.
Okay, so that's interesting.
I'm wondering if eventually they're going to add NPCs to this game.
Maybe an expansion.
You get the game. I guess I bought the whatever edition that comes with everything forever, but they said they're going to be opening other vaults in this area.
That'd be cool.
And it could just be experimental vaults.
What if people
they
walk
haven't
out?
said. But yeah, I bet you there's going to be NPCs in the game eventually.
That'd be cool. It would have done them better to kind of tease that because
I thought it was going to be terrible because there weren't, and I'm getting pushed. The story's getting pushed by holotapes, which I thought was going to be stupid. It's not. Like I'm.
it's okay.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit! Like I want to go find where this is at.
I mean, half the narrative of BioShock is by audio tape.
Yeah, it's actually working out better than I thought it was going to.
No, one
What was the
problem
name
I've
of the
seen-
movie? Prospect.
You bought the big case. Did you get a collectible bag?
They're replacing my nylon bag with a canvas bag
Right. People were bitching
Yeah.
about that.
Why?
because it said it was coming with a canvas bag.
It looked like a legit
Instead of a canvas bag, it came with a cheap nylon bag.
Oh,
Like-
Because it's very
People
expensive.
said garbage bag.
Did you get any of the I don't know if they're called loot boxes, but I know like Best Buy had a couple boxes that were just like, I think they were $50 or $100, and they had a bunch of cool stuff inside of them.
I didn't.
No, okay.
Only the $200
Game.
gigantic one.
Yeah, that was one thing that Bethesda said. It was too expensive for them to make it like that.
Yeah.
But now they're doubling down. They're going to ship everybody who
Wants one.
wants one.
Yeah, they
a
say
new
everybody
can-
that wants one. You actually have to sign in and do a few things.
I'm sure you have to jump through some hoops.
Yeah.
Another one, I guess, piss people off. This is a PC thing, but most games release on Steam because Steam is universally used by most PC players.
Yes.
A couple places try to launch their own browser or launcher, and Bethesda is one to do that. I don't know. There might be some I think probably Blizzard has their own.
Rockstar.
Do they have? They don't
Well, there
PC
was
games very much.
there was
They
a thing where it says that Rockstar waits 10 months to release. Maybe it was a different company. They wait 10 months to release something because it's proven that it reinvigorates interest in the game and increases sales.
They release PC way later
There,
for everything. They port way later.
Here's the thing about Fallout and the PC people having more trouble with their games is that everybody's computer is different. And I can tell you from personal experience, just from building my own computer, it's not the game 90% of the time. It's the shit you have in your computer.
Oh, for sure.
And everybody wants to act like they have the best computer in the world, but there can be one little piece in your computer that's fucked up, and you're going to have like artifacting or some type of glitch that is unrelated to the game.
For sure. So I guess the problem on this is Steam has a return policy that's like Costco. It's very good. If you haven't played it for 2 hours or less, or because they keep track of how long you've been playing it.
Yeah.
A couple other things, you return it, no questions asked. So Bethesda, a lot of people felt they got fucking scammed by the game because they can't play it. It's unplayable, glitch, whatever. And you play it once, you download it. If you download it, you can't return it from their launcher. So
Wow.
that was a problem I think a lot of people had, which I think is
Kind of like if you buy something in the store and you open it, you can't return it.
Yeah, you can't return open software
although
at pretty much anywhere.
yeah.
Or
It's
movies.
a little shady
Or
when,
CDs.
So there's lawsuits coming because they say they got sold a game that was unfinished at launch. It's going to go through. It's going to be a class action, and they can't refund the game. So I don't know what the lawsuit
Interesting.
technically is. But if you push out a game that
People are dumb.
is clearly like unfinished, I'm not saying it is, but there's arguments to be made that like on certain
They're going to have to go
platforms,
find an expert to prove that.
It's just going to be hard to prove.
I'm sure somebody's in it for the money because I'm sure Bethesda's going to. They've made a bunch of money.
That's what I'm saying. If you're bringing a class action lawsuit, you're going to have to prove that in fact happened. And do you really think a bunch of people are going to pull enough money together to get an expert
Well,
to...
Yeah.
I bet you
And
they
an
will.
opinion isn't a truth.
Well, they'll get paid at the end of it. It's just if the lawyer's
Yeah,
going to take it. But
even-
it's
yeah.
going to be hard to prove.
Even Bethesda fucking settles, and it's money for those lawyers. But it just goes to show, like, I know video game development sucks, but God, you gotta really test that shit.
What sucks is the crowd. Everybody wants it to be
Perfect.
a Fallout 4, but online, or like same thing with like the Elder Scrolls games. Everybody wants it to be Skyrim, but online, and it's just it makes it really crappy for new games because
I didn't hear any problem about what's it called, Elder Scrolls Online.
dude, Elder Scrolls Online got a lot of shit. A lot of people that are big on like Skyrim hate Elder Scrolls
Really?
Online. Yeah.
At least it didn't make it to the mainstream, not like Final Fantasy did, where that game was just fucking broken when it launched.
Yeah.
And Fallout now.
I had to deal with it with a bunch of people I knew because I was like really heavy into Elder Scrolls Online for a long time, and people would talk a bunch of shit about me because I like that game, but it's just because I like the lore and I like that world.
Yeah.
And
That's the same thing like Rob's probably enjoying.
yeah,
This Fallout.
You know, you get that into it, and some people don't like it for that. They like it because they want to kill dragons and be, you know, an unstoppable.
I would venture to say that at least 80% of the people bitching about Fallout haven't played the game and don't own the game.
Yeah, exactly. I know I know a couple people at work. That
Even
are like that.
self-admitted are these people admit that online. Let me know when Fallout 5 comes out so I can play single player.
I agree.
Yeah, so you can be that unstoppable force.
I agree from the outset they got pushback. And, yeah, it's going to happen. You change up anything in any formula, and fucking you're just going to piss people off.
You can throw me under the bus because I'm the opposite. It was a Fallout game. I knew I was going to buy it.
Yeah. I think the only way they could have not done that is like not Red Dead. They have a full single player and then they're launching online later. Unless they made a full Fallout sequel game and then released online like as a different version of that same game. In some capacity, nobody.
So if you would have
happy.
kept Fallout 4, but 2 years later released an entire online version
If
of
they
it,
like,
That'd be pretty cool.
I know people like mod PC games to add multiplayer. Like Just Cause did it. I think that's freaking cool. If the actual developer did that, I don't know. It might have less drama right now because
yeah.
fucking all I see. I mean, not all I see, but on gaming places, another bit of drama from Bethesda.
Do you see the video of that guy that wanted to return his copy of Fallout to GameStop and he like freaked out?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's great. I'll show it to you after the.
One thing,
Alright.
it doesn't help the brand name anyway.
No.
Whether through all this, they're going to come out a little tarnished because I know there's some other game companies that did the same thing recently. I can't remember what the fuck it was. But, you know, brand name helps.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it'll be all right.
EA sucks.
If you want to play Fallout 76 on PlayStation 4, I'm SWAT Rob. I will play with you when I can. But that'll be this week's episode. The next episode won't be far behind this one. We're going to get back on track here to finish out the year. And we've got some cool ideas coming up. Alan and I have some stuff in the works. And like I said, I put the phone number on here earlier. You can call that. And that'll be this week's episode. We're up.